That's the transition I'm looking for. All right, what's up? Good morning, everybody. Hello and welcome to the Olimoleague. You're joining us for the February monthly finals. We got a pretty nice prize pool and a lot of folks showing up for today, but some not yet, which is a bit of a problem, perhaps. So we put out a poll on Twitter, and we asked, do you guys want to see which of these matchups? And heavily voted as number one was ByuL versus Innovation. However, we may be ignoring the poll because it looks as if all the other casters are going to be joining that game. Alternatively, we do want to join in and maybe catch our boy ByuL, who was also voted second in the poll. But Crank will be casting Leenock versus Classic. We want to do ByuL versus Zest, but Zest isn't here.
No.
So maybe we'll just do ByuL and Innovation then, even though we had all these wonderful plans planned out.
It's what the people want.
It's what the people want.
Oh no. Oh, I don't want fur in my eye. I'm good.
Anyway, some of you guys have already gotten into the Bits boss battle thing. I was expecting you to have to go live and explain it, but apparently a lot of you guys have already hopped on that train. So big thank yous to, oops, I turned off bits. I need to turn on bits. To Leoman, who threw in 1,500 bits to kill the first boss. Says Kappa, look at me, I am the boss now. Boris threw in 1,100 bits to say jebaited as he stole it from him, and then Leoman took control of the boss back to say Swift Rage, how about no?
Okay.
Then, yeah, Leoman healed up the health that I had taken away from him with 38 bits. What a dick move. So yeah, to explain the boss battle thing, I think this is a lot more fun than the cup, to be honest. And there's some sound effects and stuff we can tweak with. I've turned those off for now because it's going to be annoying. So I've tried to put on some fun bit noises as a consequence. So like the 100-bit notification noise is now different than the 1,000-bit notification noise and so forth. But we'll see if we can have some fun with this today. I think it's a pretty fun idea, and I was really happy when I found it. So you guys can contribute to killing whoever's the current boss. You don't have to knock him out in one go, but yeah. It'll be fun, I hope. Today is also going to be Zombie Grub's last cast before she disappears. And she won't even be staying for the whole cast, apparently.
Probably not, as most Olimoleagues last about 4 hours. I have to leave around 10, which is like 3 hours from now. So. What you gonna do? Oh, the Olimoleague time moved, so that's not my fault.
Zest is here now.
Well, really, everyone else's clocks moved and Korea refused to acknowledge it, so...
Oh, wait,
really, it's Korea's fault.
Dog, do you not have like the alerts thing on? Did you not hear that?
No, I didn't hear anything. But I have the Twitch alerts thing on.
I was gonna say, you're talking over some badass battle music as Mr. Boris Makarov knocks Leoman down to 50 health. Perhaps miscalculating himself here. He says, new boss is best boss. Rippin' Pepperoni's Boris. If someone snipes that 50 bits, he's going to become the new boss, and Boris will be very upset. Juna also just up for 22 months. Hello? But it looks like this ends up working out for us. Like, this is awkward and confusing. So, okay. You guys wanted ByuL versus Innovation. All the other people were going to cast ByuL versus Innovation. Now we're going to ByuL versus Zest, but Zest wasn't here, so we were going back to ByuL versus Innovation. However, Innovation's apparently not here, so now we're going to ByuL versus Zest. I thought Crank was doing Classic.
Yeah, well, whatever, man.
Crank's making Okay, so wait, is literally everybody in this one now then? Is that the plan?
Yeah, like literally, yeah. I'm not getting anything.
Really? Well, actually, I guess the thing lagged, or just didn't catch up. Oh, there we go. Mr. Boris said finish him, and he finished him with 50 bits, and then, of course, we don't have alerts for anything under 100. Leoman tried to heal himself up. Oh, no, he didn't. Excuse me. 262 bits to say, at least I'm going to hurt your face. Ooh. Punched him square in the jaw. Okay, holy moly. tell us where to go. We are your caster slaves. So,
oh my god.
this is amazing. We're just gonna end up having everybody in ByuL versus Zest, and we were trying to avoid this exact situation. But I think Innovation's, despite being online, still not here. So at the moment, it's not like you guys are missing a match, or we're not like leaving one hanging.
Yeah. Oh, and we're starting. Okay.
All right then, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Olimoleague. It's the most confusing start we've ever had to a monthly finals. Let's hop into it. But anyways, yeah, the music, I pulled out some old school Final Fantasy music. So like some bit noises are like the different battle musics.
Well, I'd love to hear that. If I could.
I don't think I'm going to bait anybody with this, but the 10,000 bits has a very different donation sound than the rest. Or it should, unless something fucking broke, which is very possible it happened.
I don't think any of my sounds are working on Twitch alerts. I'm definitely on the right one.
Do you have your browser muted maybe in your sound manager?
Worth checking. I haven't recently needed it. No.
Yeah, I got no clue then, man. But alright, folks. Just cast, I wish, man. It weren't so simple. Things have just gotten messy and difficult, and we've all just yielded to Olimolie's whims. We said, point us where you want us to go. And she sent us this way. So, kicking off game number 1 in this best of 3 for the Olimoleague monthly finals round of 8. At the bottom left side, we have the Blue Zerg player from Team Looking for Team. It's the BaseTradeTV sponsored ByuL.
In the top right, as the still not sponsored by anyone, he must be so bad. I think Protoss Zest.
I want to make jabs at that though, because without trying to be too negative about Zest, he hasn't actually had the most phenomenal results of recent days.
Nah. No. Actually, I don't know what he did in the SSL, because I think he played, maybe?
All I know is that ByuL 2-0'd alive in the SSL.
Yes, quite. Yeah, okay, Zest got... Oh. I get 0-2'd by Innovation.
Well, in fairness, that is Innovation, so I think there's...
It's sure, but like, once upon a time, if you thought of a Protoss who could beat a good Terran, Zest was kind of on the top, and that has not been the case for a couple of months now.
Yeah, and before IEM, I was actually pretty convinced that he was just on this big downward trend, but he did have some really good matches at IEM, so I don't know, this might just be the online-offline dynamic, although I guess SSL is offline, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He just is he's having trouble finding his stride. Once for like a week he was trying to do what Hero and Classic were doing, being a cheesy little whatchamacallums, but while it kind of worked, it never really felt like his style, and it really wasn't. Like, he's very much a macro guy.
On that note too, we did watch ByuL in the VSL actually take out Hero, and I feel like if he's good enough to take out Hero, he's certainly good enough to take out Zest. Even if Zest was a bit more praise than we're currently giving him, I still think ByuL's got a decent shot at this matchup where we are seeing a lot of other people just falter.
Yeah.
And I think the one thing I've been really enjoying about watching ByuL's games is it's not that this guy made Hydra's real good or he made Lurkers real good, but he's been very much intentionally doing things like drops or setting up two-pronged attacks and trying to sandwich his opponent in, really taking advantage of what Zerg should be instead of running into a wall of force fields and dying for it.
Oh, I finally heard it.
Mr. Boris, it's time to heal. Yep. I love how it does a little animation too. I didn't even notice that. There's like a little plus 100 bloop.
Bloop. Bloop. That's cool.
Anyways, I only had like 15 minutes before the stream went live to start setting all this up, guys, so I'm gonna customize the sounds a little bit more later, but I figured some like Final Fantasy battle music was pretty appropriate,
Yeah, and it's still new. I guess you're not in trouble of having everyone do it, I guess. Those are so many Final Fantasies. Choose the right battle theme.
Do you know which
I
one
see
that
it chosen
one's
Final
from?
Fantasy 6.
Ah, well played, Zombie Grub. Well played.
But of course, as long as it's not 7, then it's fine. But
what's that? You want them all to be 7, and in some cases just quote Aerith?
That would be hell. No, I'm just kidding.
I like the straight face, like right after. All right, so ByuL dips in for a bit of a scout. The one of the main's not a drop overlord, but it is going to be an important scouting overlord. So it does see the Twilight Council, and he knows this is not going to be Stargate play, which is kind of a nice detail to learn. This also means that now he's perhaps free to turn this into a drop overlord if he wishes, as he knows there's not going to be Phoenix or anything to deal with that. In fact, he does it to the wrong overlord. Awkward.
Yeah. So it is an adept attack, which is
no.
like, you know, the scout made it obvious. So he should have Lings in time. The follow-up might be Stargate still, though, and this is where the overlord drop's going to get some damage and some more scouting.
What I'm really worried about, though, is we've seen ByuL do this, where he'll do, like, double drops, and it'll look like it's going to do a lot of damage, and then he dies to the counterattack. And concern is that may be... It's not even just ByuL, that's like Zerg in general, too, but we'll see, because this isn't going to pull Zest back. The Adepts here are not that crazily numbered, and there are Lings at home, so he should be able to hold this.
Accidentally loses a queen when he probably shouldn't have, and... Well, hopefully he doesn't lose that overlord without at least dropping the Lings, but it looks like Zest isn't going to commit at all to the adept attack once he saw that there was actually Lings, and just comes back home. He should just get the third base, but he's actually got a Warp Prism, so maybe another Warp in?
Maybe. Quick, super special shout out to the Ultra Nerd in chat, Nexikuro. BaseTradeTV, how are we supposed to get that 10,000-bit donation sound when the damage in Final Fantasy caps at 9999?
That hasn't had a cap in a long time.
I just remember trying to cast Ultima with Mog and being real sad that I died to Kefka, okay?
Actually, I'm wondering when was the first time that you were allowed to break the 9999? I mean, I know you can do it in 10, but I figure you can do the other ones
I was
too.
gonna say, it's gotta be PlayStation eras, like, because I know on Super Nintendo it had everything to do with their bit values.
Yeah, I think you could maybe... I never played enough 7 and got, like, you know, to the, like, Ultima weapon and shit in 7 because I hated that game. But 8, I think you can break it as well with, like, a Guardian Force, as well as just enough magic attached. But anyways, I just remember in 10 you had to get the special weapons. Well, actually, you had to get the special crests and the special weapons. But the point is, the special weapons were a bitch, man. Dodge lightning strikes 100 times in a row? No, I'm not going to do that, thank you.
Yeah, I don't need that. I could probably just grind out an extra 14 levels and be good. Like, do that faster than dodging all the shots.
Well, you're like literally capped unless you have it, so there's no grinding away from it.
Oh, okay, never mind then. That was my logic with most Final Fantasy games. Like, I never learned the weaknesses or like efficient spells to use. I was just like, okay, I can't beat this. I'll just go get another 10 levels. No, while this goes on, kind of same level of logic to a degree. We got a little bit of Warp Prism Micro going on, and that's kind of cute to see these Adepts all live, barely. It's impressive out of Zest. But we do have Banelings loaded up in these Overlords, and he's going to be sending those around the map. Now, these are not on +2, but the thing is, if he finds himself looking for a fight in the middle of the map, he can actually use those to drop on top of the sentries, which has proven to be really efficient against Protoss players unsuspecting and unprepared for this. And I would certainly say the drop style out of ByuL, this is not something every Protoss player is encountering. This is like limited to like less than a handful of players who are even willing to do this in the first place.
ByuL playing the old school typical... Okay, well, he's also playing...
He's playing burglary, and Zest left the door unlocked.
Run by. Definitely should have controlled the Lings in the main a little bit better. Just ran through a bunch of Blizzard overcharges, but the natural Ling's got 10 probes anyway, so it's still a lot of probe kills and a lot of...
Here comes the drops.
Chaos. Oh, dear. Oh, lordy. Just save that of the Overlord, man.
Oh, why is that not zooming out again? Feels bad, man. There we go.
This is amazing damage. Zest has actually had a really pivotal time, too, I would argue, in this game, where like he still is getting... I mean, he's getting charge on +1, but that's not really his crucial upgrades. He still is trying to make more Immortals, which he's now stopped, and he was going to try and get, I think, more Archons, and maybe even Storm, but now he can't. And now he feels so pressured to attack and actually do some return damage. He's going to go in the middle of the map here, but ByuL kind of already prepared.
This is where I'm actually a little bit worried for ByuL, though, because his army is... Okay, well, actually, drops going off again. Sorry, I almost missed that. His army, though, is comprised of... Well, you know what? Actually, I take this back. I was going to say I'm worried because his army type might not be so good, but Zest's army is all on its last legs. Like, look at this clump of Adepts. They're all one shot from dead once the shields go down. The Archons are going to be the major hump in this battle. If he gets past the Archons, everything else is going to crumble.
Yep. Not even any force fields. Blast the Banelings have been used, and harassment anyways. These Banelings just crash at everything.
Yeah, the Warp Prism's trying to do some fancy micro, and that's why I dive past everything to try and focus it now. But yeah, with the Immortal removed and most of this army dead, Zest has lost everything. GG. Fantastic play out of ByuL in that first game. The double drops, the banelings, and of course, like, just fending off a regular attack. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to turn the sound on it down just a little bit, but... Tenderfoots casts Holla Holla Get Dala. It's super effective, and he's right because he's the new boss battle. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, by the way, every time someone dethrones the previous boss, they do get 100 health on their next boss level up. There's a couple of different modes to this, and this is the one we're playing with right now. Some are progressive, some are overkill, and like, for example, if you donated 2,000 bits and someone had 500 health, it would keep dealing damage to the next person and the next person and the next person type thing. But we've just gone with the most basic version of it because we're testing it for the first time. I know very little about this program. I just think it's really cool and really fun. And it's already, for me, more interactive and more interesting than the cup. I've never been too big of a fan of the cup. It's not something that I ever sat there and went like, you know what? This is really stylistic. It looks really cool, etc. You are muted or something? Hello?
Oh yeah, that's my bad. I know there's some fun, like things like when you watch the bits roll in, and that was like cool at first, but it wasn't fun after that.
Well, I did like this Muxy jail thing for a while with Terminator, and I actually really enjoyed that. But yeah, generally speaking, the cups
was
like
fun.
what it was. But I like this just because like you can literally be the stream boss, like.
Yeah. That's much better.
I like that it chooses that like it can update the profile pictures too. So like if you got like if you really want to be super cool, put like Kerrigan as like your profile picture on Twitch or something. Moving laterally, 1,180 bits. Doesn't quite knock out the current boss, but brings him down to almost dead. Watch out.
Cool. And of course, I had to do some research. The arguments continue in chat. Oh, we're getting into the game.
What, the research? Oh, about like Final Fantasy or what?
Final Fantasy 8 was the first to break the damage limit with a GF.
Ah. The girlfriend.
Those crazy girlfriends.
Yeah. You know those crazy girlfriends that go through time? Some are witches, some aren't. You know, it's crazy.
Well, I don't know. Well, I was going to say that they make you forget your other friends. But it's either one.
It's a squall of a good time.
I don't think that's a saying.
It is now. So all these bits aside for a moment, thank you guys for your contributions. This is a really fun add-on I'm enjoying a lot. I'll get Sleepy Cod sub for 32 months. Star Pants return for 14, and then Finks Gaming for 26. Thank you guys for your long-time support of the channel. That's over a year for each of you, and we'd love you for it. But we are getting into game number 2 for the Olimoleague round of 8. Spawning here in the top right, it's going to be the pink Protoss player, Zest.
In the bottom left is the blue Zerg. He is looking for Team ByuL.
So, did you hear the news or see the news on Twitter?
About what?
Drogo has finally arrived to Korea.
Yeah, I retweeted it, actually.
Yeah, so if you guys didn't know, you know, we've already got the BaseTradeTV house up and running in Korea for a while now. It's been kind of fun. We got No Regret and Scarlet and Kelazur and Major and several others coming and going. Some folks were asking, where's Time? Just so you guys are aware, Time went back to China for the holidays, and we don't know when he's coming back, although we do know he wants to come back. But Drogo wants to come to the house, and I think his plans were he wanted to try and, you know, try out for Challenger, obviously, when that comes out, but he wants to also shoot for GSL Season 2 qualifiers. Sort of is on the way as well, which is kind of cool, but I'm really excited about Drogo because Drogo's always been a pretty fierce Protoss player in Europe, and I'm very excited to see if Time in Korea can help him. And it'd be really cool if he was like one of the few Protoss who makes it to like GSL, but that's really far out there. Either way, he's here today, and oh, someone just killed the boss. Who is that moving laterally? New boss. Hey. But
damn.
The other thing about this is, in order to welcome to the house, we're going to throw another set of show matches. And I bring this up on this broadcast because this is about the time this will happen. However, they're going to be happening on the weekend of the Ting Finals. Now you might be like, Rifkin, how are you guys going to cast that? we're not. The plan is we're going to have no regret direct the stream, so to speak, be the hosts, if you will, and the players who aren't playing at the time, we're going to join them in like a Home Story Cup style cast. I don't know if it'll work or not, but I think it's a fun idea. We both came up with the idea together as kind of like a, hey, wait, we could totally do this. And we're going to experiment with it. So if you guys tune into that, make sure to let us know how it goes, because we won't know. We'll be in California doing the Ting stuff. But that'll be on this Saturday coming up. Cloudy is going to fight against Petite Drogo for a spot in the group, and then it'll be the same group-style show match that we had last time.
First of all, pun. Of course Time's going to help Drogo. Why wouldn't he? Second of all, I guess the conflict really would be with the GSL, I guess.
Well, GSL supposedly got moved to the 26th. I thought it was on the 25th this whole time.
Oh, that's right. I heard about that.
I think it was because of the whole iHeart StarCraft thing that they're running now, or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I saw it, but I wasn't sure, or it didn't even really compute, I suppose, that it would change the Sunday. But yeah. So you should just watch it then.
Yeah, so should be some good times. And just more content from the BaseTradeTV house is always good things, too. Now, we do have a Darius Shrine coming out of Zest, and looks like he wants to go a little bit more, and this isn't a pun, but classic with his build choice. Something a little more standard, I suppose, and something we've seen him micro really well. I mean, if last game, you consider those adepts all living through multiple warp prisms, through multiple, like, dancings, I suppose you could say. If that indicates anything, I think the DTs will perform well. But ByuL's not going to let him simply get away with this. He's going to be coming with a drop. My concern, though, is this goes right back to what I referenced in Game 1. ByuL likes to do this double drop early on, and it's a really cool, really aggressive move, but it does leave him with very little at home. You cut drones to make this work, so if Zest holds and counters, Zest will likely win.
Pylon already going to go down, so it's already a little bit of damage. Soccer needs to get into a better position. It's trying to desperately. Does find the probes to help him out. There's no wall at the front, though, and ByuL is still flooding Lings.
Yeah, there's... he can actually knock down that Cybercore pretty easily if he'd like, but it's unfortunate because he won't be able to make overseers or anything. Once those DTs come in, they could still save him if they're warped in defensively.
Oh, it's very true, yeah. But unfortunately, like, while DTs do have a lot of damage, they are still just about, like, a Banshee level of dealing with Lings. They gotta run after them. They gotta take the wind-up hit. It would take a long time. I think Zest might have just been broken here. The DTs are warped in offensively, and the Spore Crawlers aren't quite done.
Ooh.
But one's about to finish.
And he's rushing back home with the Lings. He leaves almost nothing on the other side of the map. I
That's
kind of
probably a
like
mistake.
this move. It's going to take a considerable amount to stop the DTs after all.
I think this would have been enough, really. And ByuL even recognizes that, too, and goes back. I mean, he broke the wall, so, like, you know, he's going to be able to get back in anyways, I guess.
If he gets a kill on the Nexus, that'll be pretty nice. Just answer Walgren in chat real quick. He's asking, do donations kill the boss, or is it only bits? It's only bits. This is like a new like stream mod thing. I don't know. I'm learning about it tonight with you guys. It's the first time we're using it. But yeah, ByuL is kicking butt. I'm not sure if I'll get this Nexus with the probes being pulled like this.
Doesn't look like it. Yeah, just save it for later.
Yeah, you just drop him again in a little bit. I mean, this has done some pretty okay damage. It certainly was worth cutting the drones early, to say the least. And the fact that he defended puts him in such a good spot moving forward. Layers on the way for an Overseer. I guess the bailiness will be interesting to see. Can you churn drop Overlords into Overseers? Oh, you can.
Yeah.
TIL.
What? No, yeah, we saw it before.
No, I said you can.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I was going to say. We've seen it before.
Uh-oh.
Really highlighted.
Well, he holds the natural, but loses control of the main, and Zest is on his way out of the tournament at this rate.
Yeah, that's true.
Just the reminder, it's only single elimination. There's no second life to fall back to.
Yeah, until he lost these 20 probes, Zest had a perfectly, like, reasonable comeback. He was only down 3 probes and still had this, you know, harassment going on. But with 20 more probes going down, he's still only down 13 at, like, very early parts of the game. But that's still considerable. And his harassment's about to end here. His archons are so low. Actually, they're together, but they're so low on health.
Well, as the DTs come out, they are, I guess, able to get a bit more harass. I mean, the thing is, ByuL, if he's not paying attention at home, a Spore Crawler will get focused down very quickly. But it doesn't look like Zest is aiming for harass. I mean, that's what the Archons were doing before. Now he's getting some Warpins going, more Archon on the way. More Archon? Another Archon on the way.
So it's also been confirmed that Classic and Innovation just didn't show up. Or Innovation was here, but he didn't respond.
Well, someone in the chat was saying he's playing in another tournament, but I don't know what other tournaments are going on today.
The IP or whatever it is. But as Olivia was like talking about, something that like Tenchi's been casting. It's like IQ Cup. There we go.
Huh.
Chinese thing, but he literally just wasn't doing anything. So it'd be very like weird if he was playing in that. But anyways, regardless, this actually is like a fairly good attack here. Zest taking advantage of just his higher tech and good units against Ling. So ByuL is now trying to get some roaches, but they're going to be trapped in multiple locations.
Yeah, I mean, this is where you kind of want to even just cancel the Lings at the third because they're just going to be freebies. If he can get the roach count up decently enough, dealing with this isn't out of the question at all, but it's the fact that these were coming out like 1 or 2 at a time and from places that were getting camped by Archons.
Yeah. It looks like he might have enough now because he does have some decent production now as well.
This Warp Prism Micro, though, that's not going to be easy to get over.
No. ByuL doesn't even have that many excess minerals to make like a bunch of queens right here, and that would also help. But it looks like the Zealot's been taken care of, and the Archons, well, they can take on quite a few roaches, but maybe not this many.
Yeah, it's a matter now of like how much more damage gets done. These Warpins are kind of scary. Banelings come in. These can deal with the Zealots, maybe. Drones pulled into the fight too, though. I don't know. He's starting to take some pretty harsh losses. He's got a lot of drones still where that came from.
Yeah, his Archon management has been pretty good. They really would have been the ones to kill the roaches, but this single lone Zealot tried to kill a third base.
I got like no question in my mind. Zest's Micro is still top notch, but unfortunately, Micro alone will not win you games.
Oh my god.
Oh, saves the hatchery. This Archon's also both almost dead. Meanwhile, it looks like there's like a single Ling attacking the other side of the map.
Way to go, buddy.
Nice.
Well, Zest might have reduced the drone count something again reasonable. Like this is like what it was 5 minutes ago before those 20 probes died, 33 to 40. But ByuL's the one that has a third base still, so like the lower income is spread out. I don't know what's happening here. He must have him rallied like normal, but the SimCity's messing up his rally.
I guess
no, that didn't happen. I don't know.
Maybe it has something to do with when he pulled them earlier.
Yeah, maybe. But anyways, the point is, I guess 7 more drones just went down, but the third, like, he's gonna have minerals everywhere, whereas Zest is slowly mining out of minerals on the main base and really is finding it difficult to get his third base down.
And that's going to be kind of key here, actually noting on the lower mineral count. Not that he doesn't have drones to spread or anything, but these Archons coming in like they did, it's going to be a lot easier to pick off 7 drones when there's 7 stacked up on 1 mineral patch.
That's true. Good thing they're not totally oversaturated. But now ByuL also is able to utilize whatever economy he does have, great, good, or poor, whatever it is, and is attacking.
Zest is getting some really good damage done to the drones, though, behind this.
I still think the army might be a little too much. Like, if Zest can never get a third base, he will actually just run out of minerals. He's been on 2 bases, and, you know, for a long time. So, at least ByuL is the third one to transfer over to. He's only got sentries, and if ByuL just moved in right now, the sentries would be in trouble.
Yeah, but I can understand why he's not. He's so busy, distracted by this damn Warp Prism Micro to Zest. And you know what? I said maybe Micro doesn't win you the game, but I could be wrong.
Oh, RNGDTs don't really work out there.
No,
break the force field.
There's a nice thought though, because I mean, if this was a little bit hasty without overseers, then those DTs would have saved the day. But yeah, the pylon's going down. There's nothing to overcharge. Last couple army units going down. He's gonna bring that Warp Prism home. Nah, taps out. All right, so our boy ByuL, the base trade bump kicks in once again. And he does win the series to move on to the round of 8, or through the round of 8, excuse me, to the semifinals.
Very cool.
So did walkovers happen then for those other guys, I guess?
Yeah, you know, he's going up against Leenock, and then Byun beat Gumiho to go and face, or Bunny beat Gumiho to go and face Byun.
First off, Bunny beating Gumiho is impressive. Secondly, that's a TVT and a ZVZ on each side of the bracket for a guaranteed TVZ finals. That's pretty legit.
Yep.
Well, I guess we'll go to our first commercial break of the day, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you had fun with the bits. I hope we'll keep having fun with bits, and we'll see you guys soon.